Hello. That was 2 minutes of that 3 minute and 38-second song that I made. Yes, I made that song. I did the saxophone and everything, man. No, I didn't. I'm lying. No, I made that song. Easy work. There's more. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna play it next stream, maybe. I don't know. Okay, let me go to the. We're gonna be talking about some more things, man. So let's get started reacting, man. Come on. It's time to react to some more things, man. Wait. Okay, so Moon.
You will soon be living inside the metaverse.
Yeah. Calm down. Holy man. Okay. So Moon. One of my. No, what? What are you talking about? Moon posted a recent video about the metaverse again, man. Let's get some new information. Because apparently Facebook moms still don't see what's wrong with it. It's crazy. They say the phone is bad, but they're on the phone all day with Facebook. What is this, man? What is this? Okay, let's see.
You will soon be living inside the metaverse, whether you like it or not. Instead of looking at your screen as you are.
Okay, first things first. First things first, man. I don't know. I wouldn't mind being in the metaverse, actually. Well, if I had to wear a headset with Mark Zuckerberg's face on it, then nah, never mind.
Right now, you will be living inside of the screen. And this isn't an exaggeration. Microsoft, McDonald's, Apple, Facebook, Nike.
Oh no, maybe McDonald's is back.
Walmart, Gucci are just some of the companies convinced of our future in the metaverse. And tech billionaires are doing everything they can to make this happen. Mark Zuckerberg went so far as to change Facebook's name to Meta as he works to become the god of our new reality. In his own words,
that's crazy.
We want to get as many people as possible to be able to experience virtual reality and be able to jump into the metaverse and to have these social experiences within it. Because of this, Walmart is buying up property and its own crypto for the metaverse. Gucci is making Meta
Oh my, and they're gonna add an NFTs to it too, are you kidding me?
only clothing. Nike is developing its own metaverse shoes, and Microsoft recently bought Activision for $70 billion, simply to propel Microsoft into the metaverse. But then why is all of this happening? What's all the hype? I mean, on the surface, it would seem like the market is rejecting the metaverse entirely. After Facebook's pivot into the metaverse, the company has been tanking, and is currently seeing the worst losses in the company's history, with Zuckerberg's personal net worth dropping by $30 billion. Because of this, most people think that the metaverse is over, but this was all just a blip, just some dystopian fantasy. But this couldn't be any further from the truth. In the last 5 years, we've been conditioned to join the metaverse, conditioned by billion-dollar companies using split testing and your own psychology against you. And the best part is, you never even realized it, which is why by 2030, we will all be living inside a hyper-real virtual reality. Here's how.
Okay.
The virtual world is
Wait.
central.
Why is everything so slow now? What's going on? Okay, so first of all, I think he's gonna talk about how we're already using our phones and we're already in the metaverse. But come on, man, you already said that. Tell me something new, man. Okay, let's see if he says anything different.
To millennials and Zoomers' lives. We spend almost all of our waking hours looking at screens for work, to socialize, to read, and to shop. In America, the average person spends 7 hours a day looking at their screens. Added onto that, 66% of the American population are active video game users. One of the most popular games played is Roblox. Roblox is the
Bro, I was just on Roblox yesterday. That's crazy. I'm scared now.
very basic, primitive version of the metaverse Mark Zuckerberg envisions. But to understand the full scope of Facebook's metaverse, we first...
To be honest, that looked cool, actually. Look. Stop, get out of my screen, man. Yeah, that looks so cool, actually.
We first need to understand Roblox. In early 2021, people spent almost 10 billion hours playing Roblox.
Yeah, wait, isn't just like a guy on Roblox, like one of the employees? Apparently they're like an open pedophile or something. That's cool. And it's Roblox is also asking you for your passport and identification so you can get voice chat privileges. I've tried to use the McLovin ID for so long. It doesn't work anymore, trust me, it doesn't. But no man, it's fine. One day. One day.
Spending roughly $652 million on the site's virtual currency, Robux. Robux
No
allows
way.
users to buy hats, vehicles, and other items for their characters.
Bro, I tried to join this once and then I had to wait for like 1 hour and 30 minutes and I forgot about it. I don't want to go to this concert anymore, man.
With the game being free for anyone to play, allowing users to come together to socialize and
What
build
the?
their own worlds. And by creating this very basic version of the metaverse, Roblox, a free basic game, is now worth $50 billion. And this story is all the same with other open world games like Fortnite, with the average Fortnite user spending hundreds of hours in the game. And like Roblox, they have their own personal avatar and they interact with others using virtual currencies. Again, making the game worth almost $30 billion.
30.
So then why are these free games worth so much money? Because investors and big tech giants know the importance of the technology behind these games. They understand that the design of games like Roblox and Fortnite will change the world as we know it.
Fortnite.
That's why Gucci created a virtual Gucci garden for Roblox.
Gucci garden? Are you serious? Bro, that's the dumbest thing ever. What are they gonna have? Flowers made out of gold or something?
With Gucci going so far as to create its own
Doesn't make any
metaverse
sense.
division, and Ralph Lauren now has a virtual Ralph Lauren ski store inside the Roblox metaverse. The British Fashion Council even hosted a fashion award for the metaverse fashion design on Roblox. Likewise, Louis Vuitton has been creating special skins for Fortnite.
Of course.
And it seems like almost every week since Facebook's transformation into Meta, brands across every single niche have been building up their metaverse products. And this is exactly why Microsoft bought Activision for $70 billion. With Microsoft,
Bro, there's so many billions being thrown around here. Holy. Bro, if I had 1 billion, it's over. It's over.
executives stating that this deal
over,
will
man,
provide
it's
the
over.
building blocks for the metaverse. Now, on the surface, it would seem like Activision isn't all too involved in the metaverse. However, by being able to hook millions into its games like World of Warcraft, Activision has a huge influence on gamers. And so Microsoft is betting that Activision will have a huge influence over metaverse users. To quote Matthew Ball, most companies now see that the metaverse is around the corner, with one
Not
research
really.
firm
No, not really. Isn't it? Didn't he say like all the features are gonna be like actually working in 2030? What do you mean around the corner, man? You're weird.
estimating
You're
that
weird.
the market for the metaverse technologies, which includes games, virtual reality headsets, and other emerging gadgets and online
Bro, get his face off of that thing, man.
services, topped $49 billion in 2020 and has grown by 40% every single year. And this process is only speeding up as I speak, because this is the evolution of the internet. And so it's through all of this process that we have been quietly walking into the metaverse. With all the time we spend looking at our screens through phones, computers, Roblox, World of Warcraft, we have been conditioned to accept it. But this is only one tiny step in a much bigger picture.
Bro, the way he's talking about this, it makes me think about like how humans are like advancing a little too fast, man. A little too fast. We're gonna die, man. We're gonna die.
Because these companies aren't funneling all this money just for us to look at screens. They are funneling this money because they understand something. Companies are now understanding that all of our physical products will be replaced by the digital. They understand that the whole of society won't just be staring at our screens, we will be living inside of them. Now, as we discussed, in games like Roblox and Fortnite, you can access
Wait. Oh man, what if in the future? What if in the future in like 2060, they like try to create a device where you can like actually go inside the games, like your whole body and everything. That'd be so crazy, man. Oh my. Everyone's gonna be in VR, and you know for exactly what reason, man. You know why. If you don't, me neither.
virtual items. You can wear fancy clothes and shoes and guns from loot boxes, but the question is, do you
Who is
really
he?
own these things?
No.
I mean, one of the main issues with loot boxes in games is that not only is it gambling for children, but even when you do gamble and win, you still don't own anything. Instead, what you
You own money? What are you talking about?
is owned by the developers of the games you are in. So then this raises the very important question, will you truly own what you buy in the metaverse?
Obviously
and if
not.
What does that mean for society?
That means we're all dead.
Well, the truth is that if Mark Zuckerberg has control of the Switch, Zuckerberg has total control of our new reality. He will be the one who decides if you own something or not, because he and his group of investors are the true owners of the metaverse, which means you will never own anything. Now, to some, this might sound like a good thing. At least that's what the World Economic Forum thinks.
That's kind of eerie, yeah.
This lack of ownership is perfect for those who hate freedom the most, because when people don't own anything, when they don't own real property, possessions and resources, people can never be free. They don't own their lives. If you're on a game like Fortnite, for example, some developer could, by accident or not, take away all your loot without you having any recourse. Because you don't own the game or anything inside of it, you just feel like you do. And so if the metaverse becomes centralized like these games, this means that what you think you own will quite literally
Oh,
own
that looks
you.
so cool.
Your avatar, your designs, your digital assets will all be loaded on a universe run by Mark Zuckerberg. But of course you'll feel like you own this stuff. You'll feel like you really do own a pair of Nike NFT shoes.
Wow.
You'll think you really are buying things from Walmart. Because
That's crazy.
when people talk about the metaverse, they like to throw around terms like blockchain technology that gives you a sense of
I'm tired of hearing the word blockchain. What is so stupid? It reminds me of this one game I played. It's really addicting, man. I could play it right now, but we're trying to watch some stuff right now.
security. Because for the most part, you do own blockchain technology, which is exactly why cryptocurrencies have become so popular. And it's this premise of the metaverse being this decentralized blockchain paradise, a place of virtual ownership that lures people into the metaverse.
The only virtual thing that I trust is the bank, man. Because, I don't know, they can't really scam me unless someone hacks into them. It's not their fault, so.
But this premise is based on a lie.
How so, man? Explain,
But
please.
before we continue, I want to tell you about today's sponsor.
No. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Masterworks? I never heard of it. Wait, what?
Plan.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is this? There we go. What's going on with my internet,
Mark
man?
Zuckerberg isn't planning to spend $10 billion in 2022 alone for a universe he doesn't control. Zuckerberg wants a centralized
that
virtual
picture is
reality
crazy.
that hosts our new global society. He wants to control the switch of a new generation. He wants to control an ecosystem of digital services.
Yeah, man. It's working, but for TikTok, man. TikTok has controlled Gen Z, man. It's taken over them. All I see them do is just Russia, if you do kill us, thank you.
Platforms, property, connections, and experiences. Because the metaverse for Zuckerberg is the next logical step for even more
You're ugly.
power. The
Holy.
metaverse will be the ultimate extension of our growing authoritarianism and centralized society. I mean, we're already seeing this trend metastasize in real time. For example, Rishi Sunak, the British Chancellor of the Exchequer, discussed at the latest G7 meeting Britain's future plans. One of the most striking announcements was his plans for the UK to introduce a central digital banking currency. The aim being that this digital currency will replace paper money with digital money as a competitor to cryptocurrency. But unlike decentralized cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, this currency will instead be controlled through the banks.
Oh, wait. Imagine if you're in VR chat one day and you're just like, you could like give them the virtual money and you're like, here, bro, here. And someone just zooms past and just takes the money and they can't give it back. That's hilarious, man.
So instead of having a bank account with HSBC or Barclays, you will have a bank account directly with the government where you're given digital money. These actions will advance our path to a decentralized economy and will instead catalyze a wave of even more government control. Because in addition to this, the government announced at the G7 the plans for a programmable digital currency, so that when you earn money from your job, you are being paid with a programmable currency controlled by the government. The idea being that the use of this money will be restricted to
Well, at least I don't have to pay taxes anymore since they're gonna just take it away anyways.
whatever is deemed acceptable by your employer or government. Also that you can't buy certain foods, you can't buy certain amounts of alcohol or tobacco, or you can't go to different places. Or if you do something your employer doesn't like, you won't be able to spend this money.
The group of the world's 7 most advanced economies, the G7, is launching a set of public policy principles for retail central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Central bank digital currencies
CBT? What do you...
could be a digital version of money, a bit like a digital banknote
You sound so robotic, you're scaring me.
that could be used alongside physical notes and coins. Unlike most of the digital money people use daily today, it would be issued directly by a central bank, like the Bank of England in the UK.
This is the plan for the next decade. Governments are doing everything they can to create digital cash. Cash programmed so that it's only spent on what governments and employers deem sensible.
What they've said, and why the word programmable was in that headline, was they've said that this money that you will earn from work, instead of having paper money, you have this digital money. It's programmable so that you can't buy certain foods, or if you do something that your employer doesn't like, it's all in that article.
Wait. They can control what you can't buy? What? That's stupid.
You won't be able to spend your money. In other words, it's not money. They're vouchers. They're like food vouchers. And they can be programmed so that, like the Chinese social credit system, that if you try and use them on a certain thing, it won't work. You say you want to buy a burger and they want you to buy bugs.
What? That's horrible. I want to eat some salads, man. Not some McDonald's chicken sandwiches. No, that's a lie. I'll eat both, though.
Which is one of the examples used. If you start to try and buy unhealthy meat, just won't work. And it explicitly uses the words, won't be used on something that the employer deems inappropriate or the state deems inappropriate.
Wow.
And this is great news for Zuckerberg and his plans for the metaverse, where your property, your food, your lifestyle is controlled by a minority of technocrats. However, the metaverse won't be sold in this way. It will be sold as a simple, more social and all-encompassing
What is that thing in the background? That shadowy thing? That's crazy.
Roblox. It's not going to be sold as some hellish dystopian virtual prison, and that's exactly why Zuckerberg is doing everything he can to polish the image of the metaverse. He wants to make it appealing to all sections of society, and so it should be no surprise that the metaverse has been partnering up with religious groups to appear wholesome and non-threatening. Religious leaders like Sam Collier, the pastor of the megachurch Hillsong, has already been courted into joining the metaverse, with Facebook's main proposition being that the church could gain far-reaching expansion if they were to join in on the metaverse. Which is why, according to Facebook's chief operating officer Sheryl Sandberg, Facebook hopes to, quote, host religious services in virtual reality spaces as well as use augmented reality
Wait, what if this whole time Mark Zuckerberg didn't want any of this? He just wanted a lot of money. That'd be funny.
as an educational tool to teach children the story of their faith. With even Bishop Robert Barron claiming that the metaverse is now giving people, quote, the kind of intimate experience of the mass they wouldn't normally have.
Wow,
People
that's
don't
sad.
realize that this isn't an exaggeration. People are already getting married inside the metaverse.
Like I said, that's pathetic, man. Like people who get married in Animal Crossing when that came out. That was. I guess it's kind of wholesome in a way, but it's just. You really don't want to get married in real life? Like. I can understand if you're like overseas or whatever, but it's still not really official if you're in a game. So.
Businesses are setting up shop in the metaverse, and Snoop Dogg is even buying virtual property in the metaverse, with fans of Snoop Dogg squabbling cheek by jowl for virtual space next to their idol. And this is just the beginning. As I mentioned at the start of this video, companies are eager to invest untold billions into the metaverse, because they understand how big this is.
People are just throwing money everywhere. This is annoying me. People are just paying to live next to Snoop Dogg in virtual reality, really. Man. I hate this. This is so stupid. I wish I had that much money so I can give it to my family and actually survive and get useful things instead of living next to Snoop Dogg. That sounds cool, but in virtual reality, really? That's stupid. There'd probably be so many people that buy houses next to Snoop Dogg, and then you just like switch between servers. No, I don't know how to explain it. Look, There's a house right here, Snoop Dogg is right here. Snoop Dogg is in the same place and other servers, and he could pop into the other servers in his house. So, okay, listen. This is one universe where it's house Snoop Dogg, and it's house Snoop Dogg. He can't be in the same place at the same time. So he switches between universes, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Since they pay a lot of money, they all live next to Snoop Dogg, so he'll just have to warp between the universes and stuff. You know what? If any of you understand what I'm saying, man, I thank you, I guess, man. Was I talking too fast? Can you guys understand me? Hello. Sometimes I talk, man, and when I hear it back on the video, I just sound like blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Gonna be. They dream of a world where everywhere you go, everything you
Sorry
do,
about that,
everyone
man.
you meet can be sponsored by
I'd like to sincerely apologize for that thing I just did.
a new company and a new advert, where your life is quite literally
She really just phased through her without her consent. That's crazy. Oh, that reminds me. People are really they're really like reporting being like sexually harassed in the metaverse. What? You can't feel anything. What's the point of? They're just trolling, man. They're just trolling. Not the girls. They're not trolling. They're being dead serious. But the guys who are doing that stuff, they're weird, yeah. But come on.
interrupted with real-time ads using your psychology against you in ways you've never seen before. You know, the metaverse bears this uncanny resemblance to the idea of subsidized time in David Foster Wallace's book Infinite Jest. In the book, subsidized time is the idea that each year on Earth becomes subsidized by a specific corporate sponsor.
What does that mean?
So for example, next year is no longer 2022, but it's instead the year of the Whopper or the year of Glad or dairy products from the American heartland. But still, I know there's going to be a lot of you who will think, why does any of this actually matter? What's so bad about all of this? It will just be like a more advanced version of Roblox, right? What's so bad about that? Well, the sad truth is, this isn't even the start.
Was she sweating backwards? That's disgusting.
So stick with me here as we explore the
He,
depths of the metaverse rabbit
whatever.
hole. Zuckerberg refers to the metaverse as, quote, an embodied internet where you're in the experience and not just looking at it. Because the average American spending 7 hours a day looking at screens just isn't enough. It means that 2/3 of your life is still in the real world, which is a serious issue for Zuckerberg.
30.
Screens just aren't providing you that all-encompassing sensory immersion.
You're gonna get bored of it eventually, I imagine. Like after like a year of using it, everyone will just stop using it. Mr. Zuckerberg's plan will just fail. I want that to happen. If we survive through 2022, that is. There's still war going on. Yeah.
And it's this premise that is causing corporations to spend billions on the metaverse, to addict the population into a world of even more instant pleasure and constant
Minecraft?
dopamine. In the book Brave New World, Aldous Huxley warned us that the future won't necessarily progress humankind.
Oh my god, Minecraft? Will I get to live next to a dream? Like, shut up, man. Are you kidding me? There'd be so many 9-year-olds. Like, no, kids my age, sadly. They're all gonna be like, oh my god, dream. They're gonna use their mom's credit cards and spend like billions of dollars because they're just that rich for no reason. And they just waste money out of... I don't wanna think about it anymore. Okay, let's move on.
The book warns us that access to instant pleasure and self-gratification
Hey, yo.
is superficial happiness rather than responsibility and true meaning. In the book, the characters do everything they can to avoid facing the truth about their reality, relying on a drug called Soma to make them content. And this idea of a false reality has been played on throughout history. I mean, even back in 375 BC, Plato forced...
If you're not happy with what you're dealing with, then try to fix it. Don't avoid it. That's dumb. Eventually, it'll be... The problem will get so big that it'll kill you. I'm exaggerating, but it's true, man. It's true.
saw the dangers of the metaverse. At the start of Book 7 of Plato's Republic, Plato talks about people living in a cave. These people have always lived inside of a cave and don't know anything about the
why are you zooming in?
world. All the
Oh
people
yeah.
can see is the shadow of things thrown up on the wall by the fire. The people in the cave are fascinated by the reflections on the walls of people, birds, and
Oh.
animals. They assume they're real and think that if you pay enough attention to these shadows, you'll understand and succeed in life. The thing is, they don't realize it's an illusion. They talk enthusiastically about the shadows and take pride in their wisdom, but one day, someone finds a way out of the cave, where he sees the true form of all the shadows. He sees the stars, animals, and the vastness of the universe. He has come into contact with the true nature of being, and so he makes his way back to the cave to help out his friends. And when he explains to them what the sun is and what a real tree is like, the cave dwellers get angry and plot to kill him, because this guy is questioning their false reality. But what if this illusion doesn't only pertain to a small group of cave dwellers? And this is a perfect metaphor to describe the metaverse, where a false reality becomes normal daily life for billions around the world.
Look at that stupid Pikachu dancing, and of course TikTok is in there too. It is kind of scary. And this is from TikTok to oh my.
And this is why the truth has to be fought for. Zuckerberg will suffocate the truth. He will smear dissidents, using the metaverse to usher in a new order.
It's just gonna be like that PS4 party thing, like the update where they just like they spy on you on every party you're in. Just gonna keep track of your voice and what you say. That's gonna be annoying. If I get VR. Probably won't. What was that? Nothing.
All this money being projected into the metaverse, you have to understand that this isn't just some basic Roblox stuff. You'll see online people mocking the metaverse. You see all the people playing these glitchy, bad, basic
I saw that video. She was like 24 hours inside the metaverse. Yeah, she her eyes hurt. That's basically it. Yeah. Yeah, nothing went wrong.
games that make the metaverse seem like a joke. But the metaverse that Zuckerberg envisions is something far greater than we can imagine. The metaverse will host religious services, businesses, fashion shows, concerts, shops, workspaces, and almost every...
And everywhere they're gonna be trolls, man. And then Zuckerberg is gonna ban the trolls. And everything's gonna be boring. Oh, it's gonna be so sad now that you think about it, man. Can Russia just... You know, I don't really want to die that much, actually. I want to fix this. If the war gets serious, I'm gonna have to get involved, I swear.
function of society. The metaverse will feel so real that you'll be able to touch the metaverse. You'll even be able to smell the sulfur scents of the metaverse.
Yo,
you will
man.
never have to go outside. Instead, you can wander through the leafy idyls of the metaverse.
And then eventually you'll starve to death because you forgot to buy food.
Touching the leaves and trees, smelling the
Wow.
pine scents and the fresh grass. This sort of thing is a huge industry that almost no one outside of Silicon Valley knows about. But inside Silicon Valley, it's a whole other story. In the valley, everyone and their dog is trying to integrate AI with human consciousness. And if there's one thing almost as...
Yeah, like they put microchips in our vaccines, man. Oh my. And the 5G's gonna kill us all, man. The 5G's gonna control our brains into VR and then it's gonna make us... I don't know. We didn't think that far ahead. See how stupid that sounds?
integrating Zuckerberg's metaverse, it's Elon Musk's brain chip company Neuralink. Elon
No
Musk
way.
is spending hundreds of millions on Neuralink. And now, for those of you who don't know, Neuralink is a business that aims to create
Oh, ew.
a brain chip that will link your brain to the computer, enabling you to carry out actions only through your thoughts.
That sounds really cool, actually.
Ostensibly, Neuralink will help cure paraplegics
Whoa, that sounds
and
cool.
Parkinson's.
That's really
but
cool.
really, this is, as Musk claims, a way to save humans from AI annihilation.
What? How? Okay, wait. So basically, I don't know if that'll work though, because humans think really fast in their head. Like, at least I do. I'm not trying to flex or anything, man. Because flexing that you can think fast, that's just weird. But sometimes my brain is all over the place, man. I just think of saying two things at once, and then I think about like Roblox one second, and a split second later, YouTube and videos, and then go back to the home. You know what, man? I don't think the Neuralink is for me, man. I don't think it is.
And to ensure humans' domination of
That's crazy.
superintelligent AI, The long-term aspiration of Neuralink is to, quote, achieve a symbiosis with artificial intelligence.
Symbiosis? What are you talking? So we're gonna be cyborgs? Is the 5G gonna control us, man? Oh my. We're gonna be 5G friends with the robots. This is gonna be so fun, man. No. But how does it protect us from the AI takeover? What? So it's gonna. What if the AI learns how to hack or something? I mean, it can't evolve, right? That's not good.
He says he'll do this with, quote, an electrode to neuron interface at a micro level,
Oh,
and
no.
a chip and a bunch of tiny wires that will be implanted into your skull.
Oh,
I believe this can be done, Elon said.
that sounds
It's probably
disgusting.
on the order of a decade. And just like the metaverse,
Oh, no.
this technology is accelerating at a horrific pace. Neuralink has already worked on both pigs and monkeys, with
Oh,
these chips being
of course,
inserted
of
into
course.
monkeys' brains, with the monkeys' neurons communicating with computers via a small receiver. And this was so effective that Neuralink enabled monkeys to play a game of Pong without a controller or keyboard. Instead, these monkeys played Pong with only their mind. However, as you'd
I don't know. I don't think you should like test it on Pong, man. Maybe some Call of Duty, because you know almost everyone and their mother plays Call of Duty, man. Maybe you should just yeah. Actual predicted. Interesting.
imagine, these experiments didn't come without their consequences.
Oh, is that
animals
doo-doo?
Neuralink
Is that doo-doo sticking out of it? Oh no, man.
experimented on went through excruciating pain.
Yeah,
They
he
were
looks like it.
tortured,
It looks
some
like
even
it.
died.
Oh,
One monkey
no.
was documented as having missing fingers and toes from, quote, self-mutilation.
Self-mutilation. If we wear the Neuralink chips, man, we're gonna do that to ourselves, man. The 5G is gonna make us kill ourselves. Oh my.
Or some other unspecified trauma. And luckily for you, Musk is hoping to begin these tests on humans. And I think
Oh,
it
no.
should be pretty clear by now where this technology will be going.
Oh, that's really helpful. Maybe you should give it to just disabled people, because they kind of need it. No offense. Trying to like make this better. Trying to look at the good side.
Once it's effective for humans. And likewise, Microsoft
That looks like the dumbest mic
is
ever.
going all in on virtual reality headsets, partnering up with the US Army to supply its HoloLens technology for $21 billion over 10
Bro, why is everyone spending billions on everything? Holy, how many billions do you want?
years. Because the US government understands how
He's looking at it in VR.
truly
What?
powerful the stuff is. This HoloLens technology will upgrade soldiers' capabilities through enhanced situational awareness, information sharing, and better decision making.
And that won't work because we're just gonna die from a nuclear explosion. Cool. But we're also, man, yeah, just nuclear explosion, death. That doesn't matter. VR is not gonna save us.
And
Come on.
Google and Apple are quickly following suit with the creation of their own new VR headsets.
That looks really
All of
convenient.
This technology will allow you
That
to
looks-
perfectly sync up into the metaverse, which is why it's absolutely no
You know, if I get a VR headset, I'm gonna instantly delete the metaverse. Wait, isn't the metaverse virtual reality in general? I'm just gonna not play anything from Facebook then.
surprise that Facebook has been doing everything it can to dominate the virtual reality market, acquiring
Cool,
Oculus
man.
for $2 billion in 2014, giving Facebook control over 75% of the virtual reality market.
75.
Zuck's plan being that these headsets will no longer sell for hundreds of dollars, but instead will be sold for free. With these
Bro, where do I get one? Where do I get one?
headsets being massively subsidized.
Where do I get one?
A generous gesture from Mr. Zuck.
Thank you.
But, as is always the case, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Facebook now
Well, I mean, at my school, well, yeah, you're right.
known as Meta is doing all of this to manipulate you by monopolizing human consciousness by giving you an expensive headset for free. You become intrigued to peek into what the future might be.
Well, it's free, man. Come on, who doesn't deny free?
What this hype is all about. And then once your family and friends jump in, when people start
Whoa,
shopping them,
that looks so lame. Those, wait, I have that.
be what this hype is all about.
Watch it.
And then when
Look at those. I've had those before. I've had one of those things. They're like $1. I'm not even gonna lie. Like $1, and you literally put your phone in there. You don't put anything else in there. What do you? What are you playing on? Are you serious? This is so lame.
Once your family and friends jump in, when people start shopping in the metaverse, touching and smelling the sights, when everyone starts plugging in their brain chips to move themselves without ever actually moving their real body, people will then be able to do everything they dreamed of. They can be what they want, do what they want, when they want. They'll go to the Gucci metaverse store. They'll stop by at Walmart and McDonald's and maybe even catch up with some friends.
And they can't even eat food, and then we're all gonna die of starvation. Like I said already, man. This is horrible. We're either gonna die of starvation in the metaverse in the future, or we're gonna die now with a nuclear explosion from Russia. Life is great.
And then soon enough, Zuckerberg will have achieved his goal. For many, the metaverse will be better than reality. And when enough influential people, businesses and cultural groups are in, you either jump in as well, or you become an outcast. You become a lonely, despondent loser who's stuck in the real world. And just like that, everything starts to come together. From Microsoft buying Activision, Nike selling NFT shoes, and Gucci having its own metaverse department, it all starts to make sense why Facebook pivoted towards the metaverse. We all laughed at it, we memed it, we thought...
Wait, let me see these memes real quick. Oh my, look at that face. Meth. Oh, that's crazy. What they want you to think the metaverse is, what it actually is, metaverse. Yeah, that's true, yeah. Even this is not good at all. They're living on top of like trailers stacked on top of each other, like Jenga blocks. And they all fell down too. What? Hello, fellow human. That's not that funny, to be honest. I'm back and I got a new attitude and a new name, and a bunch of new techniques. I've never really liked the office memes, so I don't really care. Offers you a sweet baby Ray. Accept the that's so scary, it's funny.
It was a joke. We saw Meta's stock price plummet and thought nothing more of it.
Hilarious.
If anything, this stock plummet is an ominous sign of what's coming next. You see, when you're a company like Facebook, short-term losses like this often amount to long-term growth.
Maybe you shouldn't have announced it so early. Maybe then you'll get your stock like higher. What are you talking about?
This is a model seen in all successful businesses. Amazon, Tesla, Netflix. It's the model Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and all the other billionaires live by. And it's this model that will allow Meta to quite literally take over the world. People don't take this seriously.
That looks similar to my last thumbnail, my last video. That was crazy.
Enough. Facebook's pivot into the metaverse was pilloried by commentators, news outlets, and YouTubers alike. You'll always see people saying things like the public will just not react to it. It looks too terrible, no one will buy it. But that's only because we're not the customers. The customers are the multinationals, the governments, the mega corporations, and the other big tech giants. And they all want a piece of the pie. These are the same people who want government-controlled digital currencies. The same people who want to live in a checkpoint Charlie society. The people who want to see the stale corporate censorship leap from social media into our own new reality. The public isn't asking for the metaverse. We are being given the metaverse. But we need...
Yo, get that away from me. Wait, does it have Beat Saber on it?
To make the choice. Will we sacrifice the trials and tribulations of the present for the future instant gratification that's holding us back right now?
Listen, if I get a VR headset, even though we paid like a lot of money for it, just because of what this guy said, I might use it for like 2 hours every week, every 2 days, every day. 3 hours, okay. But yeah, man, I don't want my brain to be plugged into this VR headset. Come on, man. I got a life. I have a life, kinda. I'm here, so I'm working on it. Listen, I'm working on
bodies, minds, and freedom for a quick dopamine hit.
Oh, that wasn't a mic, okay.
Or will people see the metaverse for what it truly is? Only time will tell. But when you go outside
that's
and
horrible.
Look around you, when you take time to notice our
were those satellites everywhere?
Absorption into screens, our autopilot absorptions into mindless social media feedback loops, our incessant need to be stimulated at every second of the day. When you start to realize this stuff, things become quite sinister, and I personally become fearful that Zuckerberg's predictions for 2030 might not be so funny after all.
It's not really funny, yeah. Hold on. Well, yeah, man, that was pretty scary. let me hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, listen. Metaverse is bad. I can't do anything about it. And sucks, man. I don't. What the? Yo, calm down. Those first two clips that already made me mad. Okay. Listen, brat. Oh my god, I'm such a brat. Oh, you have a gun. Oh my, crazy. Bro. No way. Yeah, you read the title. Why men are weaker than ever men. I hope that looked okay. Yeah, that'll look okay. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Times like these, I wish I had no gender, because I don't want to be part of any of these people.
What do we have here?
No way.
You may kiss my boots.
No way. This is a joke. No, it has to be a joke. No way.
I used to know this guy called Ryan. We were 16 when we first met, and to be honest,
Cool.
I thought he was a nice, genuine guy. We'd all go after college to this wood and smoke and just chill out, and he was one of those really sporty types, you know what I mean? Like, always trying to improve, and genuinely seemed to be doing quite well.
Nice.
The only red flag was that when he wasn't doing something sporty, he incessantly consumed entertainment and social media. I've never seen someone so addicted.
That's not that. Oh, okay, never mind.
Constantly wired to his phone watching these endless pixels. See, to him, it was just a part of being informed and keeping up with the times, which is okay. I thought this guy can do whatever he wants. I probably go on my phone too much as well. But like all unhealthy habits, they eventually catch up with you. So a couple of years later, we kind of stopped talking by this point, but still ran into each other occasionally. He seemed to be looking worse every time I saw him. By now, he'd stopped doing sports, and it was horrifying to see the way this constant consumption could destroy a man. His cheeks broke out into deep red acne. They looked like hamburger meat that had been held to the stove at the before and after pics on his meth posters. Ooh. Except he got real fat too.
These remind me of the before and after images of like makeup. Like these are switched around, like before the makeup, after makeup.
He'd squeeze the rolls on his stomach into her face and got carpet on it, and they put a brace on his wrist. I grew concerned then because he still wouldn't stop. On the rare occasion I saw him, he was either hidden away behind a screen, or even worse, lecturing us about toxic masculinity or some other anodyne
Toxic
crap.
masculinity? What are you talking?
It was unbearable. I knew this wasn't the man I met years ago. Just on a gut level, something was wrong, and sure enough, the truth unraveled. The situation was far worse than I could have predicted. So one of the last times I saw this guy was at the school reunion. We stopped off at his house for some quick pre-drinks. And after a few drinks, the inhibitions withered, and one of the guys I was with, who knew Ryan well, went onto his computer to look up directions to the reunion. But he didn't just stop there. I turned around and saw him scrolling through Ryan's search history whilst Ryan went for a piss. I didn't want anything to do with this. It was a major dick move, and told him not to go through his personal stuff, but in literal seconds, this guy says jackpot. And we see that Ryan has an OnlyFans account.
No way.
And more than just a simple loving subscription to some e-whore. This guy is tipping these thoughts in.
Oh my. She's not even that bad. She's fake. She's just cosplaying. She's just annoying.
Thousands. A total to about £1,000 in tips. Bear in mind, this guy only works a part-time job at a cinema.
No
and then,
way.
Suddenly, Ryan burst through the door. What the hell are you doing, he said. He rushed to the computer, pushing this guy off. And this guy nervously said, "Oh, my bad, mate. I'm just, getting you back for looking through my history that one time." And this big argument erupted.
I feel so sorry for you, man. Maybe this is why you tell these stories, man, to inform us. I'm grateful, man. Thank you. Hold on again, man. Hold on again. For some reason, my nose is really stuffy today. I don't know why. Okay.
Me and my friend just looked at each other and fucked off. But all through the rest of the night, I just couldn't shake off this horrible feeling that this must be more common than I'd imagined. How could I know who was a simp and who wasn't? Where were they hiding?
Where were they hiding?
I just couldn't shake off this image of all these simps scattered around the world, submitting their money and soul for a tit pic. An endless line of weasels congregating around their idol Beldell feeling.
And these are just making women feel like they're more special than ever. Like, what are you... This is annoying.
Worship, begging thoughts for recognition, competing with all the other simps for some hollow message from a girl who probably despises them. Then I realised, our society breeds simps. From childhood, we are monitored on the playground for any misbehaviour or boyish tendencies. We are brought up in a bubble of health and safety frameworks. School, the media, celebrities all drop seeds which form our opinions. And if we go to university, nothing much changes except you pay a shit ton for it and end up wired on some psychoactive substance. To escape this, we go online, in which many of our lives pale in comparison.
Sorry about that.
Into others' perfectly manufactured lives, seeds of
Oh, it's like that one Gumball episode. Wow.
worthlessness and low self-esteem grow, and those so consumed by such a life. And when these seeds grow, a crumb of attention from the opposite sex is like sex itself. And when that happens, the simp evolves. More and more, we feel lonelier than ever. There is an epidemic of burnout as people work harder than ever and still struggle to get by, all the while feeling undervalued, underappreciated, and disrespected by their bosses. Boredom is pervasive and social mobility is stalled, convincing a majority of millennials they'll never be able to retire, and the pandemic has only made everything so much worse. So is it really any surprise that we see a corresponding rise in simpish behaviour in the Ryans of the world as our language, lives and economic conditions stagnates into a sour clump of low self-esteem? Looking back, I should have known the path Ryan was on. In ancient mythology, the soured, rotten knowledge from the forbidden tree was prophesied to be the catalyst of human decline.
Listen. I needed to say something about this, but if God didn't want Adam and Eve to eat the forbidden apple tree, the forbidden apple, why'd he put that there in the first place? What? I think he just wanted to start problems or something. I don't know.
When our most private thoughts and emotions are not actually our own. When we think in terms of languages and images which we did not invent, but which were given to us for ulterior purposes, to sell something, an ideology, a belief system, or an OnlyFans. In a basic sense, these biblical stories expressed one core idea. Do not eat from the hands of those who sell you a fake and poisonous culture.
Emotional.
A culture in which you are denied opportunities for self-expression to show who you really are. So you never get to figure out who you really are, and no one else does either. To put it a bit more clearly, just picture this. If you walk into your bathroom and look in the mirror and you can't see your own reflection, it might cause alarm. But what if everywhere you went, nobody could see you? What if you were completely invisible and barely existed? Well, what you see in the mirror is just a tiny part of who you actually are. In fact, with modern medical advances, we know we can go...
Why did he just swipe it by using his hand? He didn't touch it. The Neuralink man.
Play Frankenstein. Switch out your face, limbs, organs, and dick and replace them with somebody else's, and you'll still be you.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
You will still have the same memories, personality, and
I'm not trying to say anything mean to transgender people, but I'm gonna stop there.
You'll still be Gareth wanking over green double D furries, because the vast majority of who you actually are is on the inside. Your ideas, abilities, humour and character are only visible to the senses by self-expression, and if those parts of you can't be expressed, do they even exist? When you are denied any opportunity for self-expression, you never get to figure out who you really are, and nobody else does either. So does this mean you walk around worried you might be a ghost because you can no longer communicate you? No. But what you might feel is a profound sense of emptiness. You might ask yourself, why am I even here? Why do I get up in the morning? What am I fighting for? What is the point of my existence? Why is life itself so meaningless? You might feel lonely, even when you're surrounded by other people. You feel disconnected. You might feel like you don't actually matter to anybody, as if nobody really cares that you even exist. You aren't dead, but you aren't alive either. You might feel frustrated because you can tell how other people see you based on how they treat you, and you disagree with how they see you, but you don't know how to change that perception. You can tell people think you're dumb when you know you're not. You can tell people think you're lazy when you know you're not, but you have no way to prove them wrong. And because the only way you can see yourself is how other people see you, you might just end up believing them one day.
Oh no.
And when we do that, we forgo our own thoughts, we disempower ourselves, we subconsciously believe that we don't matter. And in the act of taking that idea to ourselves, we give everything away to somebody else, to something else.
The people most affected by such a mental prison may be undetectable to the common eye, but in the peripheral vision of those looking, a large, ugly cocktail of neglect, frustration, and degeneracy is brewing. A creature in the maw of some world beyond its ken, a horror of horrors, an abomination of...
These are the people that have billions of dollars and just waste it. Give me that money, please. Give me the money.
Man.
On, like, every day I'm going to give you money, and all of my wages are going to go to you all the time, because I think your life's perfect, and your life should be so easy.
If her life is perfect, then why does she need more money? What are you talking about?
And I shouldn't have any money in my whole life. So
what?
I'm going to give you money all the time.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, so your alpha boyfriend is going to be...
Alpha? This is the opposite of an alpha. What the
invited to my house, my 3-bedroom house, and you can treat it like it's his own. A stupid white loser does not deserve his own house.
You're better than that. What? This is fake. No. She was laughing. This is fake, right? No. This is fake. No. No way. Bro.
The only cure to the simplest disease is not to worry about Delphine or anybody else. Icons are maintained by a toxic shitbrain media system. It's cultural diversion. What is real is you, and your friends, and your associations, your highs, your orgasms, your hopes, your plans, your fears.
He's not wrong.
Reclaim your mind and get out of the hands of culture engineers who want to turn you into a half-baked moron, consuming and paying for all this crap that's being manufactured out of the bones of a dying world.
This is why I subscribe to you, man.
Don't be a simp. Be a human being.
Nice. That's a good way to end it, man. That's a good way to end it. Good life lesson. That was not my fault. Be quiet. That's disgusting. You know those special. I sound so annoying right now. I'm so sorry. You know those Shh, just shut up. Just stop talking. Stop talking. All right, listen. So, have you guys ever had that one time where you just sneezed, but instead of having a buildup, it's just achoo? There's no buildup or anything. Yeah, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good. But yeah, man. Okay, last video of the day. Yeah, subscribe. Thank you, man. Subscribe. Well, if you want to, I don't care. Oh no. Okay, last video, and then we're gonna end the stream for today. Hold on. We're gonna have to finish this a little fast.
This
man.
is the most important video I've ever made, and it begins with the realization that you were always meant to be poor.
Sadly.
Now, I'm not talking about poor by the standards of the great majority of human history. I'm not talking about the poverty of child soldiers in East Africa or starving North Korea. No, you were meant to be poor in a very different way. You are the end result of decades of selfish and unwise decisions made by selfish and
Look at that stupid grin.
unwise leaders. You live a life of seeing YouTubers giving away millions to other millionaire YouTubers. You look at all these billionaires going into space.
I want to be a millionaire YouTuber. Well, not YouTuber. I hate YouTube. No, I don't. I don't think I'll ever make a YouTube video with editing and stuff.
Wondering how is it possible? You spend every day struggling to pay the rent, the bills, the debt. Prices keep increasing, taxes keep hiking, while your income is stagnating and your time is wasting. Living in dystopian citadels with transient inhabitants squabbling cheek by cheek for space. Where your only free time is spent being shuttled on a grinding, slow, packed public transport through a dangerous urban sprawl. Where you go home with just enough energy to mindlessly watch a drip of lethargic, empty entertainment. Where any moment without the next dopamine hit is a moment wasted,
That's deep.
where you wake up in a pod and go back to work for the bidding of your corporate slave master, only for you to repeat the same cycle every day of every week of every month of every year.
This is...
But it doesn't have to be this way. There is a formula, a mindset that will
To me, the only thing that could change this is just save your money. In my case, I feel like I won't buy food for like a day. And then I'll just get rich. Easy.
allow you to escape this trap. By the end of this video, you'll understand the subliminal mindsets and insidious indoctrination that has stunted your development. But the thing is, this won't be easy. In fact, this video will require your total engagement. It requires learning some ugly truths that our culture hasn't told you yet. I know many of you will click off because of this, but for those of you who know that this isn't the life you wanted, those of you who want to escape,
Ew.
those of you who no longer want to watch life from the stands, those of you who don't want to live through other people's stories, if this is you, then escaping this trap will change the trajectory of your life. At the end of this awaits a life that has been taken away from you. But if you're ready for this, then we need to start peeling back the layers. What are your true passions? What do you want to get out of life?
My true passion is, I don't know. Well, this is pretty, I guess this is a passion, man. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy playing games and seeing people's reactions and people that enjoy my content, man. My content, I don't really do anything exciting. Sorry about that, but to the people that are still here regardless of my like, I don't know what I mean, but just thank you, man. Thank you.
What motivates you to get out of bed? These are the questions you were never asked in school. Instead, you spent most of your life sat behind a desk, learning to be mediocre, waiting for the next break, the next ring of the alarm to escape.
Yeah, I've heard this thing where it's like I've asked my teachers why they never told us about taxes and stuff. And we need to learn about taxes. I didn't ask the question, but they said, oh, it's tradition and stuff, and like, so it's tradition to beat kids with rulers. Are you serious? If they change that, why can't they change the other stuff? I need to learn about taxes. I don't know what taxes
The
are.
problem is that by living this lifestyle for most of your developing years, you were taught to never value your time. From the start of your life, your time was wasted at every second of the day.
He's like 5 years old and he has piercings already. What are his parents doing?
With so much boring, mass-produced, phony education being droned at you all day,
I mean, math, social studies, and English are pretty good. I think we need those, but that's about it. Besides taxes, we need
your
taxes.
only salvation was to waste even more time at home, time that should be spent playing with other children, being embraced by your community and following your passion. But instead of this, you spent your entire days learning forgettable fragments of education. In fact, this time is so pointless that unschooled kids left alone with no education catch up completely with school children at college.
I think the way we do schooling is much more about daycare, and it's also preparing kids for the wrong things. I mean, 8 hours a day now.
Wait, this has nothing to do with anything, but that Harry Potter clip, that just reminded me of that one time. Like the Harry Potter actor, he was holding up two guns, man. And then there's like a new series coming on HBO Max. I wonder if they're gonna talk about that. I'm poor, so I can't watch it, but maybe there'll be clips on YouTube or something.
9 hours a day, you know, to a little
Interesting.
prison camp where you have to raise your hand to go to the bathroom, and they tell you how to think and how to behave. It's terrible.
By being accustomed to this life of never following your passions, this life of never valuing your time, this life of unfulfillment and conformity, your mind starts to become lazy. The ambition and drive to follow your curiosity has been crushed, so you become undisciplined. Why would you want to put yourself through the pain of constant work, practice and routine if there's no payoff at the end? What's the point of struggle without reward? By subconsciously adopting this mindset, you start to become devoid of passion and curiosity. Instead, you most likely turn to fake instant gratification passions. Passions like video games, Netflix, social media, and vaping. This is why we live.
Bro, I don't understand how vaping is a passion. It's an addiction, man. Just like, I can't. So many people vape in my preschool. I don't get it. I don't. So stupid.
Live in a generation where almost everyone needs some sort of life coach or therapist to tell them what to do, because our education system has taken away the driving force that allows us to follow our destiny. We don't have that force, that burning desire to achieve our goals and become disciplined. So then you may be asking, how do you escape this mindset? What makes the elite so different? Well, truth is, the rulers of our society have always had a very different life than you. From birth, they resided on the other side of the city. They stand in the fast lane queues, they watch sports from the skyboxes, they eat different foods from you, and they went to very different schools than you. They went to schools where they were actually given the time and attention to develop their innate special knowledge. They had the time and freedom to
So basically, moral of the story: life is rigged.
pursue their curiosity. They were trained to become disciplined. They were indoctrinated into knowing that they would be at the top. They don't even need to do that well in school. They don't need to learn boring subjects they don't care for. Instead, they learned to value their time and follow their passions. And from there, they were given very easy access into esteemed universities like Harvard and Yale. That's why almost all of these children go to the best universities. Chuck Schumer sent both of his children to Harvard, Obama sent one of his children to Harvard, Hillary Clinton's daughter went to Stanford, and Al Gore sent 4 of his children to Harvard.
Of
But
course.
for normal people like you, you'd have to be the brightest and most talented in your school to apply. And even then, you'd only have a 3% chance of acceptance. And yet somehow almost all the leaders can send their children off to Harvard.
You know, I don't feel like going to college, man. I feel like it's just a waste of money. Not a waste of money, but it's just I'm gonna be in debt and everything. I don't like the sound of that, man. Like there'd be some good jobs if I go to college, but it's like 4 years, man. Like high school all over again. I don't like that. High school, except you have to pay for everything. Nah.
You show no sign of talent
Not
in
for me.
anything. And so you see, it's these differences in education that begin to shape the growing class divide that we see today. It's why our leaders can no longer even understand the lives of the majority. And in 2022, these differences are
Yeah, old people are just trying to take over the internet and just like I hate that. Wait. I was gonna say something else about kids. Oh, they're trying to make the internet safer for kids. Kids shouldn't be on the internet in the first place. I've already said this last time. And like I said again last time, I think the minimum age of people that use the internet is like 13 or something. Because at that point, they're at least a little more mature enough to understand what's going on, man.
beginning to have catastrophic effects on all of our lives. It's in these next chapters that you'll soon understand why you were never supposed to be rich.
Interesting.
So fast forward a few years, and let's say you're a regular
Where
office
am I?
worker.
Okay.
If you live in America, your average yearly wage is probably around $50,000 a year. You
Oh,
probably
that's
also
pretty
work
good.
40 hours a week and work 47 weeks a year.
Oh.
That means that you spend almost all your waking hours, all your most creative years, all your energy working to survive the next day. You have slowly become just another cog in the rat race. And by virtue of your schooling years and adopted mind,
Hey, you didn't have to use a rat analogy, man. That's kind of offensive to me.
mindsets, you were never meant to escape by design. As I mentioned earlier, you were taught to devalue your time. You were also taught that work is supposed to be boring and handed down to you by a teacher or boss. However, by being accustomed to this way of thinking, you're destined to be poor and miserable. Because in reality, the time you spend working has no real correlation to the money that you make. If you have a corner shop, for example, and you're sweating and tiring it out, restocking shelves, ordering deliveries, talking to customers, spending all hours of the day working, you're only achieving a fraction of what the other side are making. And the sad fact is that because you've never acquired the specific knowledge needed to provide value, you can be replaced by anyone. With this understanding that you can be replaced at any time, you continue to work day in and day out, neglecting your physical and mental health and losing your only life on this earth. As much as people like Elon Musk like to claim that they work 100 hours a week, the truth is that almost no human on this planet can work more than 3 to 4 hours a day. And I'm not talking about shallow work where you procrastinate for almost the entire day. I'm talking about what Cal Newport describes as deep work, where you devote your pure, undivided attention to a certain task. Almost no wealthy, powerful person does any more real work than this. And yet you're slaving your precious time to make just enough to continue this dreary lifestyle.
One day I want. Okay, can you like turn it down a little bit, please? Shh, I'm doing something right now. Okay. I wish one day rich people and poor people could just switch places. I don't know how, but that's just a wish. It'll never happen. But hopefully, if I actually become rich, which will never happen, maybe I can do that.
And this isn't a surprise since you've never been taught any other way of life. You've built up a lifelong habit of only working at 20% of your true capacity. You most likely waste 6 hours a day watching things that you don't care about, looking at posts that make you feel empty.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would I watch something I don't care about?
If you're wasting 20 hours a week, you're wasting thousands of dollars worth of your time.
If you're wasting 20 hours a week, you're wasting $50,000 a year. And you are doing that right now.
So we've established the reasons why your life has been so restricted. But even still, why is this problem so much worse today? Why are we seeing the anti-work movements become so popular? I mean, the education system hasn't really changed in decades, and yet people are poorer than they were before. In all other years, people's wages grew relative to their country's economic growth. So why is this no longer the case? And even more importantly, why is our society now being throttled into such a downward
Are you
spiral?
kidding me? Okay. No. Listen, I keep saying that, I'm sorry. Yeah, hopefully more people will quit their jobs. So their jobs will give more money, so we'll become rich too. And then everyone will be equal. That's not what the rich people want. It's crazy.
Well, stick with me here, as things are about to get a lot more interesting.
Reckless actions.
So by this point, you should understand that through your adopted mindsets from school, you've been conditioned to live a miserable life. A life without freedom. Instead of inheriting your father's trade, using your specific knowledge and time, you now work for someone else. You rent from someone else, and you have nothing to show for it. You work for corporations that have amassed more power than countries, while you yourself have no power. While your subconscious outrage and despair is buried under an avalanche of cultural drill.
How sexist are you actually? 21 reasons by being a cuck isn't a bad thing. Exploring your fetish is a good thing. What the 19 reasons being a straight white man is hard.
Shelling out most of your income to live in a pod in a polluted megacity. Living in soul-destroying, alienating, unaffordable, decadent, deteriorating metropolises. But the question is, how did things get this bad? How did the average American wage stagnate, while the top 1% has accrued more wealth than at any other time in living memory? Well, at this point, it goes way beyond just education alone, because we have all been abandoned. Abandoned by leaders who abandoned the masses' vital education and upbringing. Abandoned by leaders through their reckless action.
Here's the thing. There are some teachers out there that are actually passionate about teaching kids. There are some kids that don't care about learning. They're just there. Feel bad for them.
Through quantitative easing, money printing, and inflation. Over 40% of all US dollars were printed in 2020, which is why you might start to notice that life has become a lot more expensive. I mean, the total money supply has increased by 336% in the last year and a half.
Wait, then, like 2020 was like when COVID just started and World War III was gonna happen. With China and stuff, yeah. I remember that. But why would they increase the prices? What? Shouldn't they, like, make it cheaper since we're gonna die? What?
This is money that is printed out of nothing. And this is new money that is dilating the value of every existing dollar you've earned. And the truth is, the situation is far worse than these numbers might suggest. In the last year, crude oil is up 55%. Used cars have gone up in price 32%. Beef prices have risen by 21%. Lumber up 35%, wheat 37%, sugar 33%, corn 39%, palm oil 43%, coffee 108%, oats 114%, and rent prices are up almost 23% in New York. Rent has almost tripled in California. In London, the mega-rich Qataris own more property than the Queen of England. It's so bad that for property to be affordable in London, the average worker's wages would need to increase by 266% just to catch up with inflation. It's gotten so bad that there are literal poor doors.
Poor doors?
So that the rich no longer even have to look at the poor.
That is so f***ed up. What?
That's why we're at a point where a literal cupboard under the stairs costs you almost $700 a month
No
to live
way.
in. That's why shared pods with no privacy, no doors, and no ownership will cost you $1,200 a month to live in. Depressing, crummy apartments that attract nothing more than crime and degeneracy are the new homes for the masses. With all this inflation, with all this wage stagnation, it's absolutely no coincidence that we see the rise in cryptocurrency and NFTs. People are gobbling up as much Bitcoin as possible as a final refuge against this unprecedented inflation. People are buying up as much magic internet money as possible because our currencies have become valueless. And this is a sign of impending disaster on a societal and personal level. With massive inflation, with no home ownership, no community, this is what keeps you oppressed. You can't rise up in a society when the rules of the game are no longer even. There is no such thing as equality of opportunity when the game is rigged against you from the start, and none of this is an accident. Family is freedom, property is freedom, community is freedom, and at every second of the day, this is slowly being taken away from you.
That's not good. Ignore that in the background.
Our entire economy has become centered around a crony capitalist system that eviscerates the family, leading to misery, atomization, and existential despair. And don't just take my word for it. The Brookings Institute found that falling male wages led to a 20% reduction in marriage rates. When jobs shut down, marriage rates plummet. And at the same time, testosterone, sperm counts, and family are all crumbling into dust.
Ooh.
Because by this point in our globalized, atomized, depressed, and lonely society, the elites no longer care for their population. They no longer care for the servant class. That's why wealth inequality is rampant. That's why we're seeing the end of the middle class. The backbone of democracy in Western civilization is being desecrated, which is why the majority of households now qualify as low-income households. So the currency has been inflated to hide this deep-rooted economic problem. And at the same time, everyone is atomized, depressed, and lonely. Because thanks to the complete failure of hyper-capitalism to enrich our lives with any purpose or meaning,
That's so stupid.
we have to cope with all of this by numbing ourselves on drugs, liquor, and turning to the room. But at least you can get the next
Ooh,
level
no.
pumpkin latte, the next gadget, the next pill.
That's not-
At least you have the freedom to be a soulless shell of a human being. At least you have the freedom to slave away at a corporate job to make ends meet. At least you have the freedom to waste your life watching an endless loop of nihilistic, barren distractions. All of this is happening because America and the UK now live in a new class system. No one likes to mention it, the media ignores it, YouTubers run away from it, but it's the ugly truth. From the get-go, the rich have lived lives unfathomable to the majority. They have adopted esoteric mindsets that have allowed their curiosity and passions to thrive. They have been given the keys to the top universities that serve as a membership club into the elite. They have been given the resources, funds, discipline, and specific knowledge to generate wealth. And with this wealth, they have secured their freedom, they have secured their meaning and happiness. And most importantly, they have never lived in your shoes. They've never seen the life of the masses. They have never been through state education. They have never been to the factories, the average universities, the meaningless, low-paying corporate jobs. They never lived in the pod, in the dangerous urban sprawls that define modern cities.
Wow. Just wow, man. I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
In any normal society, this would have forced change in the status quo. But in our society, political parties have now merged into one, all merging into the same carbon copy replica of one another. There is no longer any healthy political discourse. Lawmakers, journalists, and business CEOs are all in the same.
I don't know if he's talking about this, but yeah, the Donald Trump and Biden thing, they were just roasting each other the whole time for no reason. And guess what? All the kids in my class were like, "Oh, it's so funny, so funny." See, I don't understand why they're talking about politics when they're not even talking about the actual politics. That goes for both the kids in my class and the presidents, man. We're all gonna die.
Same group. The elite's disconnection is then only further catalyzed by their isolation. The ruling class have become so insulated that their failures are just openly ignored. And
sorry,
it's no
man.
exaggeration when I say that this is how great civilizations collapse.
That's not good.
Great civilizations collapse when the leaders work against the interests of the people. And You're on the losing side of all of this. From the beginning, you were never meant to be wealthy and fulfilled. The sad truth is that you're just another statistic in the corporate bureaucracy. A statistic with no money, no savings, and no family. But on a personal level, you can escape the situation. You don't have to live like this. This whole situation changes when we each take on personal responsibility to attend to ourselves and community. If you want the freedom to raise a family, the freedom to escape corporate hell and reinvigorate your psyche, you must begin to see work as play. You must decondition yourself from all these toxic mindsets sealed into you by state education. You need to build up the slow habits that will instill in you discipline. You need to cut out the sugar, cut out the lethargic.
Okay, I don't know about the food part, but yeah.
The constant social media drivel and calm your mind. You need to reject the toxic junk that is continually stuffed into your psyche, constipating your creativity and potential. You need to play the game being played against you, because when you embark on a path of freedom, you become dangerous. And when enough people begin to take control of their lives, this will foster radical improvement across all of society.
Nice.
It's just when you've been numbed into flaccid apathy on a collective level that society becomes so stagnant and unequal. The formula to reform, the formula to freedom, the formula to happiness boils down to this. Health plus wealth plus good relationships equals happiness. Focus on these three things. The things that have been destroyed in our society, destroyed by big tech. And I assure you, you will escape.
That's a good message. Everyone that's an adult that's for some reason watching me, focus on that, yeah.
Alright, what's going on, everybody?
Don't pay attention to that, man. Okay. Listen. Well, stop saying that. Okay. So basically, that's I was gonna show you guys a video about cyberbullying, but now I just I can't do it because I don't have time, and I don't really have much to say about it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, man, and I'll see you next stream. Well, wait, I gotta go to my thing first. Hold on. If you enjoyed the stream, yeah. You know what to do. Bye-bye.